Hello everyone, John Aldridge here with episode 11 of Aldo Meets in conjunction with the Hotel Anfield. Peter Schreibenhausen-Weisen and James Pearce from The Athletic and my old mate. I'd like to welcome John Achterberg, along with the great LFC players we've had and we're going to have in the future, has joined us. So I'm absolutely delighted to see you, mate. Good. As always.
Yes.
Right, what's happened? End of the season was like 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
I've been doing some coaching camps for the first 3 weeks straight after. Before I had a few days in Ibiza with my wife, but then I had 3 weeks coaching camps. Norway, Finland and USA. So coaching boys, girls and...
I thought you might have gone to Magaluf like we used to go with Tranmere at the end of the season.
No, I couldn't cope with that.
You might meet Jurgen and Peter there as well.
They're
not far off.
Yeah. No, you look like you've been away. I mean, wow. I'm a bit jealous.
Yeah, but it's just hot out there, so working in the sunshine is nice.
Have you come to terms now with obviously the tenor and then at Anfield, looking forward to a new future now?
Yeah, it's a big change, but a new challenge. So I enjoy working with goalies. So, try to create new goalies. And I think that's what I want to do, really. I always wanted to do something outside the UK anyway. I would work anywhere, US, Thailand, whatever. Yeah. So obviously this came up. And I think it's a good project. I try to set up, I need to discuss it, but I want to set up like a goalkeeping school 12 to 18. So you try to implement the technical and the tactical side. So to try to raise the level really. Mm-hmm. And then obviously, we need to win games. So you need to find a goalie and hopefully get 2 or 3 young goalies or experienced goalies who can do the job behind it, but they have to be Saudi. So I looked at all the leagues in the highest and the second league to find goalies and what can maybe help us or not, and pass it on and see what they can get of that. And
you certainly got the experience when you think about the influence you had on bringing Alisson to the club. Obviously, you spotted him from an early day, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was, also learning when I came actually to the club. Goalie said to me, like, that was still videotapes. He gave me 5 videotapes. And
like VHS.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you only see the best part of the goal. You don't see them, making fluffs or doing the Karius, in a cup final.
Yeah. So then, and the goalie he gave me to watch was France, and I said, he's not good enough for us because too many mistakes, and this and this. And from that moment, I thought, if I work for Liverpool, I need to know every goalkeeper in the world. Because, best club in the world need to find the best goalies. So then I start basically watching every league really and every tournament and try to be updated with everything around. And so that's how it works a bit.
So will you take the work home with you as well?
I was non-stop.
Yeah, because that's how it gets you.
But in my first year, I was doing the academy. And that was 7 days a week anyway. So, and I was there 7 days. And then I moved the year after to the first team. Someone gave me the shout because Roy was coming and they had no goalie coach. So I started there, but I still did the academy. So it was like 8 in the morning till 8 in the night. So you were doing both then? Yeah, I did that for 3 years. But then I come home and I had to fucking watch games to find goalies as well. So to be honest, when Roy wanted looking for a number 2 goalie, I said, we need to take Thomas Sørensen, because he is experienced, Danish international. That's the level I was looking at. And obviously, Mike Ellie decided Brad Jones, and obviously, and that's how it went. And from that moment, I was looking non-stop in the house, and But yeah, I enjoyed it as well, and you know, and yeah, then you could say what you want. And I actually, my first goalie, I said to Kamoli, I said, yeah, Neuer is at Schalke. I think he will be good for us.
Yeah.
But then he said, yeah, he's going to Bayern. And then the second one I said is Handanovic, he's at Udinese. And then he said, no, I don't like it. I said, well, I watched him. He played against Ireland, and you know, and this physical, you know, he dealt well with it. He's a good shot stopper, good size. And then he went to Inter Milan, obviously.
Was that why Kamoli left?
No, I you know.
Good job as well he did, by the way. There's mistakes there. They're two major mistakes, aren't they, really, when you think about it? You know, in my opinion, you know, you got to back up your staff. You know, and you know, and trust them.
Yeah, but I don't know, because I said this kind of things, but if there's no budget for it, then obviously
the budget side.
That's the other side to it, no? Because, you know, you have to find a creative as a number 2 goalie. You have to find a free goalie, because they don't want to buy a goalie. So that's how we always try to do it. So every time I was looking, okay, who is out this year, who's out next year as well, and then looking to find out, and then I tell them, oh, you need to try and get this one or that one, because you need to line them up early enough that you want them if you want a free one. So we try Neto, but we went too late. You know, I told them like already early that Neto is at Fiorentina, play in Europe, and you know, he would be free. And I think we went in January out there, but then he already signed for Juventus, so we were too late really for that kind of things. And
a couple of good goalies in the Euros though, right? I mean, I don't know, I'm sure you will know about them, but for us, the Georgia goalkeeper has kept them in the tournament, and then the Turkish goalie as well, if you've seen the save last minute, that was incredible.
And obviously, Portuguese keeper, the 3 penalty saves, that they were top draw, weren't they? You know, but seeing them early.
Who would you, with your scouting hat on? Which, by the way, I don't think a lot of Liverpool supporters are aware.
I like
that's what you did as well. Absolutely. Not just like make them better, but you actually that you know all the goalies in the world.
But also the new goalkeeper coach that comes in, will he take over that role as well with regard to what you had at your disposal, like to look at the keepers and give you. He's got to have an input on certain keepers round.
I'm not sure what they're planning. I always did it, and you know, I made a list and give the list to the boss and to them.
But also, you know, this tells you when whilst John was the goalkeeping coach and Jurgen, obviously, where we were, and only for Man City, which I'm sure we'll talk about. You know, we'd have had so many more, but for the team to be as good as what we have been, what John's just told us, all the staff's got to do that. You know, I know it works. You know, to a certain degree. I go back to Tranmere Day. It's 24/7. And you look what Jurgen said, and all his staff, and we've had the staff in it, and John, it's non-stop. You put your heart and soul, and sometimes your family takes a second. You know, the second seat.
I can say that.
That shows you what John's telling us now. To be good, and for the team to be good, and the club to be good, your staff had to be 1,000,000%, not 100%, 1,000,000%. And that tells you.
John, after 15 years of your life at Liverpool, so how emotional and difficult was it saying goodbye? And in particular, what did that guard of honour at Anfield on the final day mean to you?
Oh yeah, it's very emotional, really. Because it's a big part of my life now, so get already emotional now. But you know, obviously, you know, it's coming and stuff, and you know, you met so many good people and friends and stuff. But you know, my passion is goalies, and it always was like that. So. But you know, when the boss announced it, you know, I was straight away thought, okay, and then my contract is finished. I need to start looking, because I cannot wait till the last day, basically, and that's what I did, really, and pretty quick. I obviously had this, but then obviously you have to do a little bit with the family and the side as well, and stuff, and you know, I said, we cannot wait till the last day as well and hope that we have a contract or not. So, you know, I'm fine with it. And then obviously the last day is, I could not face I walked in the stadium, I was crying basically. And then when I had to walk out, I couldn't face anyone. I had to walk down with my face because I didn't want to be emotional really. And I managed the second part better really. But it's been big part of our lives really, and my life really. Obviously you will miss it for sure, and it was a dream job as well, And people say sometimes you must have a day that you don't want to go in. I never had that, but I also never had it as a player. If I had a shit game, I wanted to be back in the next day to put it right. And if we lose with Liverpool, then the next day you want to be there to work back again on it, I'm not really one who look really back too much. But people say, oh, this and that. I say, it's past really.
I can see the emotion in your eyes. But it's like a marriage, your marriage is ended. It is, because it's really true. Tough. It's really tough. But now, obviously, that's gone, and the future of the club. One of your fellow countrymen, Slots coming into to managers. What do you know of him? What about his reputation? Do you know much? Or
his reputation in Holland is pretty good. Obviously, he did really well with AZ, with Feyenoord. With not a lot budget, if you like, but the way he plays, I think that for sure suits Liverpool. I think he probably likes to combine a bit more than we were, like pretty much sometimes also quick on the counter and break. He likes to combine a bit more, but he likes the high intensity and closing down. And,
when you say combine, John, what?
More like Pep playing around the box, things like that. So
like City do a little bit more.
A little bit more football stuff. But one or two people said he is the most exciting coach in the last 30 years in Holland, so that's a positive.
They've had some great coaches over the
Yeah, so I think tactical, he seems to be a good coach, and obviously he's hands-on, he's on the field. So on that side, I'm positive. Yeah. It's obviously Feyenoord and Liverpool is a different level, so that is the only thing what he has to adapt to, I guess, because you cannot compare Liverpool with any club in the world, really.
But what about the fella, Otto? Do you know much about him?
The new goalkeeping
coach?
Not a lot. That obviously, you see sometimes things on the internet and stuff, and he's a young guy, so he's energetic, which is good. Not much experience, but Taffarel is there, so he will help him with that.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point.
And in terms of your next challenge, going to Saudi Arabia to be part of Steven Gerrard's staff, obviously someone you know well. What was the decision behind deciding to take that on? Was a big part of it working with Steven, or what was it?
Yeah, no, I always get on with Stevie over the years, and I always spoke to the people. I know Jordan. And most of the staff working there.
Genie's out there as well.
Genie's out there, but they wanted me to create a new goalkeeping setup, if you like.
That's interesting.
So I like to do that. That's my idea as well, to develop young goalies. Try to create, if I can create Saudi goalkeeper. So it's completely different, but I know that I can make from nothing someone move as a goalkeeper, if you like. So try to find the right profile will be one thing I will look for, and then try to create the level in Saudi to a higher level. But obviously we need also a new goalie, and try to help them to find a new goalie. I look to all the leagues, what goalies could work for us. Obviously they want to play football from the back as well, and stuff. And I always want to create the full package goalkeeper, because I think, you know, I'm a fan of all-round goalkeepers playing with the feet, but also making saves, because for me, making match-winning saves, that is your job. You know, playing with the feet is second, but keep the ball at the net is still number one, because that can win you a game. You know, you can be the best player with your feet, but if you can't fucking make a save, you can't win the game. That's how simple it is.
100%, mate. Yeah.
But there's quite a few coaches, they losing that balance a little bit. A lot of goalkeeping coaches, and some are on a higher level as well. And I think you're wrong. You should know that making a save is really important, you know, and playing with the feet, because if you can play with the feet, you know, how many teams you can play for. Liverpool, if you can play well with your feet, City, Arsenal. But a lot of teams, you know, Chelsea 90% of the time kick the first ball long. No, Czech could not play with his feet, but they used him well because he's good on crosses, shot stopping, 1v1. So find the balance. But I like to teach everything, because you can play for every team. That's how I want to coach keepers, because if I teach them everything, they can play for every team, and they can play for Burnley, and they can play for Liverpool. And the level depends on how many mistakes you make and how you're good overall. You know?
That's a good shout. It's making the right decisions at the right time with your feet, not putting yourself under undue pressure and then getting mixed up, isn't it?
That's true.
And before we move into the second part of the podcast, talking a little bit more chronologically about your time at Liverpool, how do you feel about the quality of the goalkeeper department that you left behind at Liverpool? I just felt we sort of skipped that bit a bit, and I feel that closes off your departure from Liverpool in a positive way, I feel. But let's see what you think.
Aldo can give a more fair opinion than me. I think they probably have one of the best, if not the best, goalkeeping squad they probably had. You know, if you have a number one and number two who can play like that, it's crazy, I think. You know, because Keller, what he can do.
Brilliant.
You know, and it's actually crazy that he was not the number one for Ireland yet, but I get that if the other one is playing more, but he is all round. Speed, reaction is unreal, and playing left foot, right foot is you know, hopefully he can continue that side as well. And you know, and Ali obviously, you know, it's probably the best in the world. It's clear, no. I can't see anyone better at this present time. Neuer was for a long time that number one. And I think this period, Ali has been that. And I thought it was really disrespectful that he was not in the shout on the top goalkeepers from the FIFA in the top 9. It doesn't matter if Liverpool play well or not that year.
He was left out of the top 10.
Out of the top 10. And
that's meant to be fair. I can't even tell you who the first 10 are.
Someone's FIFA up, don't they? They probably had a bet on it as well.
But you know,
allegedly.
Allegedly. Thank you, mate.
But you would think that there is someone involved who has a clue about goalkeepers now, and if he is not in there, then you have no clue about goalkeepers.
That makes it farcical.
Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
Farcical, and it sums up what they actually know.
Yeah,
but to go hand in hand with that, you know, to have the best goalkeeper in the world. And look, we can be biased, but we think it's right. To have the best second goalkeeper, possibly in England anyway. There's no what he's done, that lad, when he's played, made very few mistakes. Look at them saves in the final against Chelsea. Unbelievable. Some of the saves he pulls off unbelievable. With his feet, he's obviously played Gaelic when he was young. He plays sense. He played out. And then for you, and Jurgen, you know, we've talked about this many times. It must be so. I'm speaking from an Irish perspective as well here, you know, to get the balance, to get it right for that lad. Because I want him to be Liverpool for the rest of his career. But you look, and it's horrible because he should be in the top team. But look, we're all selfish because I don't want him to go anywhere. And then you're thinking, you know, you bite the bullet. But how can you replace him? Again, as a second keeper, and John will come in here. He's probably irreplaceable unless you get one of the top goalkeepers who's coming towards the end of his career that can fill in.
That's not going to be easy because you know, if you know what you have, and then you need to find someone. And if they would go down the road how they always do it, like on a free transfers, I can tell you now, this year there will be not one there now to get. You know, you need to get also someone with experience, probably who can play Champions League, because you need 2 good goalies if you want to win something, for sure.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I actually told Keller already before he started playing. I said, you know, it's crazy, but you're so good. I tell you now, you're better than De Gea, and he's playing every week at Man United. But yeah, you need to get this chance to play. You know, you know. Hopefully, he keep proving me that as well. Like, and he is really humble and calm. Yeah, and I think that from my experience, that's a good thing. Like, you know, that you as a goalkeeper also have to be pretty calm in your mind and stuff, and both are really down to earth and calm.
He's like James Bond, isn't he? So he's too calm.
yeah. Sometimes he's too calm. He can be a little bit more with communication. He can be improving. Yeah, that's true as well.
Anyway, that's the first part of the Aldo podcast. That went very quick, actually. It was really, really good with the Peter Shreves, man. James P, Samuel Mucker, John Achterberg. Hi everyone, this second part of the Aldo podcast, and Peter's been dying to ask John a question.
Yeah, because in the break just now we were discussing something quite technical about goalkeepers, which to be honest, again, I don't think normal fans would really think about it.
It's really interesting.
But we talked about your kind of favorite type goalkeeper, and we ended up speaking about size, and that size matters effectively. So John, could you just briefly repeat what you said earlier about the height of a goalkeeper, and what is sort of from your point of view and your experience, the perfect sort of height, and for what reason?
Yeah, definitely for the way Liverpool and my philosophy is. I like the goalkeeper between 188 and 194, 195, because then they are most of the times mobile, reactive and quick. If they go over 195, there's not many goalkeepers. I can only actually name one who actually is pretty mobile, and that's Courtois at Madrid. But all the others over 195, they are all more robotic, if you like, in movement, which means you're losing a little bit speed, reactions, quickness when you need to move the ball. The touch takes a little bit longer. So all these kind of things, and that's why I would, you know, if someone told me, oh yeah, there's a goalkeeper here, he isn't 198, and then the first thing is already what I think. But I would still watch it, because, you know, you would never want to miss out. But I actually could write the report 90% already out, like he will be not mobile enough, and that always, if you look at it, it shows, you know.
How tall is Ali again?
Ali is 194.
So right on the top of your spectrum. Fascinating. I mean, I never thought about it like this. James,
that's the technical part of football, but not just technical, you know, but seeing it for what it is, and that's intrigued me there.
Yeah, but you know, like I go now to Saudi. Obviously, the people are not that tall, so I have to rejig a little bit the scenario. Obviously, it's less physical than England, I guess. So I probably have to go a little bit slower, because lower in height, because there's not too many goalkeepers between 185 and 190. So it's all between 188 and 180. So,
but then one of your first jobs then is I'm not just saying the goalkeeper might be a really good goalkeeper. It's to go out and look to enhance, you know, a goalkeeper, and get someone in who might come in and might take over the first place, or whatever, that fits your bill.
Yeah. So I need to actually look for a goalie who is still mobile and can play, because he like to play from the back. So that is my priority, to look at, okay, does he move well? You know, is his decision making pretty good? Can he play with his feet? And if he is then 183 or 184, it's a bonus.
And who is willing to come to Saudi as well? I mean, it's
but
if he's not already local.
I think the money there, so I think there'll be some concessions there, won't they?
We're looking to sign a European one as a number one goalie. So then obviously you can still look in any range in that. And then, the Saudi goalkeepers are a bit smaller in height. So I've been looking to all that to try and find some.
And they'll have a goalkeeping academy already in place. Steve will have had that already.
Yeah, they have an academy there. So obviously,
Goalkeepers as well.
So I like to set that up really, and I help the coaches as well. Like, and hopefully they open for it, because I don't want to come in as being the wise guy and stuff. I just try to explain how I would work and how you can develop goalkeepers, because there's also a lot of coaches who doing like fancy exercises, but actually has no benefit to help the goalie. You see someone smash tennis balls or whatever. Do what is needed to be a goalkeeper. It's like a brain training. If you smash, there's nothing tactical or technical there to help the goalkeeper.
Like we used to do with Ed Nixon.
Yeah, actually, Eric was to start a good goalie coach.
Very good goalie.
I did think he was good. He worked as hard, but obviously
he's old.
Yeah,
we're talking about Tranmere now.
No, and we will, because James is going to get us into a very, very exciting question for me, because this will all end up in John telling us honestly how it is to work for someone like him. So James, take us away.
John, in terms of your journey to this point, it's fair to say Aldo had an important part to play. Brought you over from Holland in 1998 when he was manager at Tranmere. How did that move come about?
I mean, I had a bad injury in Holland. I was playing. I was in a Premier League team, and I wanted to be the number one. So obviously Bosman came in. I moved to the second division to be a number one, to play. And then I was there, and I thought, after fucking 2 months, I thought, fuck, I need to get away here. That's fucking shit. The level in training, it was like amateur. And I obviously, we had a good team at NEC. We were like 6th, 7th in the Premier League. So there was quality players. Van Hooijdonk was the striker at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So and then come there, and then you see how I didn't like the professionalism, the way they trained, the intensity. So it got me frustrated. But I was number one, so I wanted to play. So I actually pretty quick said to them, "There's one thing for sure: I won't resign here my contract. I want to go." But Utrecht wanted to sign me back as a number one or two then. But they asked too much money. But soon after that, I got injured. That was in my last year from the two. I got injured, so I was really injured till from January till the end of the season.
Was that with your knee?
No, it was my groin. I pulled with kicking the muscle from the you have this bone, pull the bone off with the muscle, so that to repair it on the side. So I was getting fit in the preseason. First, I started in the second division, the team, and then with Go Adriaans at Willem II, where Sami Hyypiä was actually playing at that time. Oh, yeah. So I went there, and I was really fit, and obviously, but I needed still a club in Holland. How it works is in February, all the clubs sign the players for the next year, February, March. But in England, obviously, they are late. They actually do it in the pre-season. They still signing players, where in Holland, everything is sorted already. So I had no club, because in Holland, everything is full, and I was not fit at the time when everyone sorted things out. So then, obviously, I think Dave Philpotts, Speedy was involved. I think David Speedy. And
he might have been the agent at the time.
He was a
friend of mine, that's right.
Yeah, he was an agent involved.
Was he?
And Carl van Buurik, who was the Dutch guy I was playing with his son, and they have an agency, and I played with his son at NEC. So they organized a trial at Tranmere. Before they were like negative ads, not in a nice area and stuff like that. And when I came here, I thought, fucking hell, it's all good.
Yeah.
But obviously John was the manager.
So what was he like to play
Exactly.
for?
Come on,
Fucking
John.
hell, the way
No, John. It's your time to shut up now.
Don't hold back.
Don't hold back. This is it. This is the big moment.
Say nothing.
I know how it is to try and organize this podcast with him. It's a bloody nightmare.
Yeah.
So how was it for you?
Now, for me, first of all, Aldo was a legend, obviously.
Was he?
Allegedly.
Sheedy, obviously,
Sheeds, yeah.
was a
Sheeds.
big name. And Neville was the goalie coach in the first year.
Yeah.
Neville Southall was the goalie coach in the first year. So
Don't get much better than that, do you?
yeah, so, you know, and then I come there. So I was fucking fit like crazy because we worked so high intensity at Willem II. And, you know, so, but it was a bit, I need to get used to the five-a-side because it's chaotic. In Holland, you play from positional.
Yeah.
And here everyone was running and stuff. But I played a few friendly league games, I think. Well, it was two games. I played Wolves away and Grimsby at home.
The Wolves game we lost 2-0.
0-0. I saved one penalty.
Nice.
I forgot that.
How convenient. Yeah.
And at Grimsby at home, we drew 0-0 and I saved a penalty too.
Serious?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
No, but what you might still remember. So we drew 0-0. But this guy, they had a big guy up front and he was chasing me like crazy. So 100 miles an hour, so I just take him out and pass the ball. I did it 2 times in the game. So the next, so I had 2 weeks and I did pretty well. So I think the day before, and I killed Gary Jones in the training. The high ball come in and I shouted, and I go back, and he was gone.
Big lad and all Jones.
Yeah, fuck, and strong guy as well.
Yeah.
And it was a decent player. So Aldo had a chat with me and said, you know, I like you and I really want you to get you here, but there's one thing. He said, I never want to see you doing when you get the back pass to take the play out, just kicking as far as you want.
Put the shit on me. Don't forget them days you didn't play up the back. You just
Just walk
launch it, to
Yeah.
your wingers or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, that.
Yeah, but
Any more juicy gossip about John back then? Come on, John. This is a chance.
Was he more an arm around the shoulder type in the dressing
No,
room or a
no.
rocket up the backside?
no, but I have to say, and when he was the manager, we had some good players and we had probably, when I started, we had probably, I think we had like 20 players who could all play, 22 players.
Yeah.
We had a good level at that time.
Yeah. Good reserve team.
Yeah, and
So they carried John basically.
no. So, but you know, obviously, if it didn't go well, he come in the halftime and fucking wiped everyone, and I think he kicked the boot one time, broke his toe with it.
Did you?
Yeah, we played St Patrick's Athletic in pre-season friendly in Dublin, and at half time I think we got beat 1-0. They played very well. We were shite. But I got in half time and I've gone, they're part-timers. He's an electrician, he's a gas fitter, he plays Gaelic. I said, you's fucking shit. And I've gone like that and I booted this, the skip.
They put the kit in,
Yeah, but it's empty, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this one was full of boots. And I proper booted it. And I've gone like that and I've gone into, sort yourself out. Yeah. And I said to the physio, I've just broke my toe. Then the lad just started pissing himself. I broke my toe, my big toe.
So while we are reminding John of all of his
But
dark days,
we need to get this one as well.
go for it. Come on, we've got time. I'll order another
We
beer.
spoke about it a few weeks ago. We played Portsmouth away.
Oh,
I think it was in the cup.
was.
Yeah, and I come out the box and the
It's half time, was it?
Yeah, the guy closed the ball and I hit it, but I hit the guy, come to the half end, but because I was on the left outside the box, they shoot and scored 1-0 down. But he come in half time and he goes crazy, fucking shouting at everyone. And he said to Mickey Meller and Kenny Ayers, and you both are fucking shouting. Can you tell the rest of the story?
I said, 2 years should come off now. I said, but I'm only taking 1 year off. And I went, I got a coin. I went, heads or tails, Kenny Hines. And he was like that. And he said, heads. I went, tails. He said, can we have best of 3? Well, we all fucking I just used to do mad things. You know?
but you know, there was like a good atmosphere.
Yeah, the great lads.
Yeah, he was aggressive in his manner, but he also got the team going, and I learned of that. And you know, I think if a manager is a little bit, and Klopp had that now as well on the sideline, he fired the players on.
Yeah.
And then you think, fucking hell, I don't want to be looking a fool on the goal or on the player. You know, you want to show, and you learn to fight more. And I think that is a learning thing from that.
Yeah.
You know, it not work every time, but it does work.
You got to pick the right time, haven't you? Like, but there's also times that people didn't realise, you know, your management skill. I wasn't a great tactician. I was all right. I wasn't a coach. I was a motivator, more than anything. But there were certain lads, young lads in particular, that there was times then, you know, you had to pull them in the office. You know what I mean? And put your arm around them. You know, a couple in particular, which I'm running to make sure, you know, things are going right outside the football and all that. But then you've got to be fair with your players. You've got to be absolutely 100%. And it's only your opinion. They might not agree yet that they're not playing well. But, you know, you have to be that way 100%. But the lads, one thing I'll say to the lads when I was at Tranmere, man, every single one of them went through a brick wall for me. Yeah. No shying away. They were all together. We were all as one. And I love the lads.
11 years in the end at Tranmere. Some famous wins, FA Cup against Everton and Southampton, but also there was sticking the boot into Aldo again here a little bit. 2000 League Cup final against Leicester, where someone else was chosen to stand between the sticks instead. So what was the rationale there, Mr. Aldridge?
That was actually the hardest decision of my management career, other than picking a side to play against Liverpool in the quarterfinals, which was alone. Now, I can't remember because my memory's not what it used to be, but we got to the final and did Joe play in the semis?
No. I play in the semi. I make 2 unbelievable saves.
This is awkward.
Bolton away.
Such a lying twat.
Bolton away. So first half one on the post, second half just before the end, close range had a.
I've seen the replays on VHS.
No, but we won 1-0. But also we had 100% goal disallowed from Alisson. We should have won 2-0 at Bolton. Yeah, at Bolton, and then in the home game, I could have had a cigar and sit there. I didn't do nothing.
We absolutely battered
Killed them. Game. And you remember they refused to change in our changing room, though.
Yeah, following game. But that was a massive game for us. Yeah. You know, that was a huge game, the semi-final. Obviously, to get to Wembley, I'm just going off the point a little bit. But one thing I did when we beat them 1-0 at there, but we were brilliant, and John played really well. 1-0 could have been 2-0. But I got someone to get me all the Bolton evening newspapers, whatever it was, the Bolton Echo, whatever it was. And I read what the players and Sam said after the game. And I was a little bit derogatory to us. You know, they didn't accept that they were well beaten. And I thought, so I picked up different things of what a couple of players said, the goalie in particular, and Sam and a couple of others. So when we got to the home game, a week later, we're 1-0 up. I went in and I give the team. I got placards made by our physio, Paddy. Put the placards up around there of what they'd said, and I said, "There's the team. I've really got no comment, no team talk." I said, just after we played so well last week, that's what Sam said. That's what he said. That's what he said. I said, lads, it's up to you. And then I went out. We 2-0 up after 10, 20 minutes. brilliant. I don't think John had
nothing.
Nothing to. Johnson had one chance, but then getting to the final,
You dropped him.
I thought, do you know what? Again, my memory's not very good now.
He's the Joe Biden of Aldo Meets.
Why? Did you get injured and then Joe come in before the final?
Joe was out injured for 6 weeks.
And then
And the week before, he come back, and I think he put him in the West Ham FA Cup. And then
we beat West Ham 1-0, didn't we?
Oh, we lost.
Yeah.
Did we not lose that
We
one?
beat them 1-0 in the FA Cup, yeah. Henry scored.
Oh, I thought we lose 3-0 and then and then the final. But it doesn't matter.
That can be sleepless nights. That can be. But you know, it wasn't just me, because what I used to do when you get certain times and you're not sure, so you'd get your staff around the table and you talk to your staff and say, you know. So sometimes I say, what would you do? What would you do? So it wasn't just me, John, John, honestly.
No, that's okay.
I'm just shifting blame. But I tell you one thing, just to go on, because we had some great cup runs and we were unbelievable in the cups. Amazing. We just couldn't replicate it in the league. We put so much into the cup games. We could, on the Saturday, teams seeing us as a big scalp. But
I think to come on that, the problem was, every year we lose a few players already.
We had to sell to survive.
Yeah, and then, you know, when you had because I think that year when we had the final, we also got relegation in the end. No, that was the same year.
Yeah.
Because we played in the League Cup and
the FA Cup.
FA Cup. So we were like 4 or 5 games behind. Yeah. But you could not have fresh legs, because it was and you know, the championship, you have to be on it every week, and they had 1 game and we had fucking every week 3 games. And
good shout.
That was not to do. If you look back on that, they had no chance. We were not big enough.
I didn't think about that at the time.
We had no big enough squad to cope with that.
Because there was they're great lads, honestly, great lads. John, you know, sorry, John.
No.
Have you forgiven him?
No, because we lost the final 2-0. To be fair,
2-1, yeah.
2-1, yeah. We got back into it with 10 men, didn't we? We scored.
Yeah.
And they scored off 2 corners and all, which made it.
Well, glad I didn't make that awkward at all this section. So there you go. Over to James for the next one.
I you know, if you want to play the final, of course, and I was there, but the mind was not there, because you want to play. Even if I would have played 5 minutes, for everyone in the world, it's a dream to play on Wembley for sure. You know, so on that side, it was hard, but you know, it's also football. You have to deal with setbacks. I always did, and you know, in the career when I was at Tranmere, sometimes I got out the team, and then I always kept fighting, because I thought, okay, I show the manager that I want to be back in, and then I always came back in.
Did you play against Everton when we beat Everton? When we beat them 3-0? Yeah. What about when we played Liverpool?
Also. 4-2.
So you let 4 goals in against Liverpool. See, I couldn't trust it. So you always wanted to work for Liverpool.
Actually, there's some fucking great moments in that game, you know.
Go ahead.
I came out the box and it took, I think, 2 times. I did it again. I cried 2 times. 2 times a player running at me from Liverpool. I don't know.
Because they played with Robbie up front and Michael Owen.
I think it was Robbie 2 times. Like
Robbie, John Achterberg.
Sorry, no. I just he chased me down, and I took him inside and then played 2 times.
And I'm like that on the side.
But I also came outside the box, make a sliding tackle on the circle when they played the ball through and things like that.
Well, Robbie is on the podcast in a couple of weeks, so we are going to make sure how he remembers.
He won't remember. He won't remember. But
James.
And then, John, obviously, then you make the move into coaching, and then suddenly you're on the other side of it. You're involved in having to make difficult decisions as part of a staff. I think Pepe Reina would have been number 1, wasn't he, when you first made the step up to Melwood? Yeah. What was Pepe like to work with?
Yeah, he's a great guy, no? And he had a great career, you know, unbelievable what he did.
Into his 40s he playing, wasn't he?
Yeah, and I think he still wants to carry on playing as well. So I actually texted him a week ago. How
Did you text him fancy Saudi Arabia? Or?
No, we were just talking about things. And Reina was a really good guy. distribution was, one of the best at the time in the world as well, no, with the throwing and
throwing was great,
and the side volley. But the punching, if he came for a punch, he could fucking punch the ball on the halfway line, crazy, But he was a bubbly character. I think the problem was the club wanted to change because he was really expensive in the wages. And that's why they tried to change over, and that's what happened basically. So.
Yeah, and then of course Simon Mignolet comes in as number one.
I tell you, I can say that anyway. We wanted they want to change and they want a new goalie. So obviously you're looking at goalies and stuff. And the rule I was told we don't want to get one outside the UK because a lot of the goalies coming inside they fail. So they wanted a goalie inside England and in the UK. And it has to be below 25 because that is So there was 3 choices. There was Bergerfiets, Simon Mignolet, and Tim Krul. So it could have been easy for me to say I take Tim Krul because I'm Dutch and he is Dutch. And I looked at each 3 goalkeepers, and on to the day today, I think Simon was the best out of the 3. And Bergerfiets, I said already why I would not took him because
height
and mobility. Krul was that, but he was a lot parrying balls and technical, make a lot of mistakes. So I said Simon. Obviously Sunderland plays a lot of long balls, but we can improve the playing, and he definitely improved it. I know he has a bad reputation from playing with the feet. But
I don't think he got the reputation what he deserved. I thought he was a brilliant keeper.
Yeah, I think
like goalkeepers make mistakes, but Simon was a really good keeper.
I think, and although you're right, he was also a really good shot stopper, top professional.
Yeah.
The young goalies, they learn from him. How professional in the gym. What he eat, what he did, but I got also a lot of criticism in that period, and I always said to the people, I said, now you tell me how many in 5 seconds, how many big clubs are there in the world? I said in 5 seconds you can give me 10 with no doubt, but can you now give me also 10 top goalkeepers in 5 seconds? You cannot name them. You can up until today not give them. If
FIFA can, but
Hey, that's good for you, Pete.
not bad.
But then forgot Ali about it, no?
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, around that time, social media is getting big as well. And there was a period when, if a Liverpool goalie made a mistake, people would blame you. How did you deal with that?
I'm pretty calm with it because I always had the belief what I do is the right thing. I look at what they need to improve individual, make the sessions, make them what happens, prepare them what the opponent does. So I brain training what they can expect. Obviously, decision making on the field I cannot always control because the goalie needs to make decision. Do I kick the ball long? Do I come out? Do I stay? Things like that. So, but you can manufacture. City put a lot low crosses in behind, so we practicing low crosses in behind next to the physical training we do. I got death threats or saying basically
threats.
That was before Loris Karius.
Huh?
That was before Loris.
That was in that period, and like
sometimes that's from
if you don't leave, you kill your family, but I stay calm with that.
That's not from Liverpool. That's people pretending to Liverpool.
What was that like on social media, like Instagram messages and stuff?
But I always stay calm, and if people came in town on a night out to talk about it, I always stay calm, because Liverpool has like 500 million supporters, so everyone has his opinion, and you have to be humble and respect everyone's opinion as well. No, and you have to deal with it. If you want to work here, you have to deal with criticism, and you have to work.
Did you ever
with...
report those threats to the police or anything?
No, I just deleted.
Yeah.
I showed my neighbour, and then I said, this.
And John, then talking about people who get shit on social media, Jurgen Klopp brought in Loris Karius from his previous club, Mainz, 05. Obviously, it seemed like he never quite got to where everybody thought he might be able to get to. I'm sure Jurgen thought he might be able to get to. Do you have any idea why that is? Even before that Champions League final, why do you think he didn't fulfill his potential?
He had one good season in Mainz, of course, and he did well because I watched all the games and he moved the way we want to play and stuff, and he can play. You don't know how the person is day in, day out, how he trains and stuff, and and don't forget we had Danny Ward as well.
Yeah, sure.
And Danny, obviously, he's Wales #1 still, but he was as good actually as Sai and Karius, and I had a few talks with him about it, because obviously. In the end, that got us to the Champions League. In the last day of the season, Stoke away, he made I think 3-4 saves, and we scraped through the Champions League. And Karius was out the team then, because he trained like he played. It was like this, And if you are Liverpool, it's have to be all the time like that. Yeah. So that was his problem really, but that was in training the same. So, and I said that to him. I said, listen, Loris, you can be sulking, but if you one day train here and one day there and one day here and one day there, then
it's not good enough.
You get caught.
It's not just me who sees that. It's the manager. It's all the players. Everyone sees that, and that's what comes back. And if you see that then back in the games as well. No, can have a good game there, and that's basically. What happened
in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, and
tells you the story basically.
Yeah, that I think he probably realised that as well, and he
was relatively young in goalkeeper's terms, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Relatively.
Considering
that's no excuse sometimes.
Yeah,
he still managed to get back onto the bench at Newcastle recently, so that's
he done all right in the final. He came in the final because Bob was injured. So
And you think goalkeepers are good poker players?
It depends if they can make a career of it. But we did a bit poker in the bus, no?
We used to love the old poker coming back.
Because I know when Emery was still here, there was it was still Lucas and Coutinho, I think, inviting to one of the houses. There was a poker tournament of the players.
I was not invited there.
You were not invited. Well, you will be pleased to know the two goalies made the final. They were the final. They ended up playing against each other. Yeah. So I just wondered if that's a goalkeeper thing to hold your nerve and to.
We had a poker school there.
Because every time we came back after the game at Tranmere, did me, you Ned won it,
and the Big Chief, no?
And the Chief,
Chief was the main sponsor.
The main sponsor. You never ever won. Come to that.
Wait, Alisson.
But we had some great trips. But it gets you after the game. Sometimes we might have lost, but get you out. Yeah, a good game. It wasn't big money, but it was all the Chiefs' money anyway. So this is the Aldo podcast. We made Peter, we made James, and we made John. Welcome back to the Aldo Meets final part, in conjunction with the Hotel Anfield. The real game changer, John, was Alisson. Obviously, we've gone through a little bit of a stage, after the Karius incident and all that. We weren't sure about the goalkeeping side of the club, and then all of a sudden, you get this goalkeeper, which, to be honest, we didn't really know an awful lot about. We knew he was a really good keeper. What he was doing was good, but then obviously, you get him at the club, and that was so instrumental to where we are at the moment.
Yeah, it's also a big process because it's not only me who obviously decide in the end. The owner have to put the money in. The boss need to agree to it, but how it.
But we just sold. Is it Coutinho?
Yeah, Coutinho.
The money was there.
Virgil had come in 6 months before,
and he was probably the spine. He was the next one we had to get.
The final piece.
So the money was there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or was it?
I'll tell you. I think it's fair to say anyway. So. It takes a bit of time, but first of all, obviously, as I was with a few of the club in there, and I think Dave Fallows or Barry Hunter maybe, we went to Florence to speak about Neto, obviously when he went to Juve. We speak to Stefano, that was Neto's agent at the time, but then he said, I have another good goalie, that's Alisson. So I said, yeah, I know him. I said, I like him. I said, but we cannot get him because he has no EU passport. He was at international then, but I knew him because of Donny, because obviously, and I actually met Donny at the Brazil training. I was in USA and I met Donny there. So we stay regularly in contact. Because his brother's an agent, and I think he wants to do something. But sometimes he give me say, "Oh, you like this goal? You have to look." And if I like it, I pass it on. Obviously, we not always take it, but I would never. Because a lot of goalies get offered, and I always say what I think. It's not like this agent or that agent. I turn a goalie maybe 10 times down, and every year he got offered to me. I said no, because he's not better than what I have, so why should I? But he said, Donny said to me, have a look at International. There's a young goalie in Brazil, everyone likes him. So that was 2013, and then I started looking, and I liked it, and then I keep following it. So then obviously that came in the talk. He was still at the international, and I said, we can't do nothing because of that. So then the year after, he moved to Rome, but he moved to Rome as the number 2 because they had Szczesny on loan from Arsenal. Mm-hmm. So I watched every game he played because he played in the cup games. I watched every game, and then in the preseason we played in St. Louis, I think it was, when the bottle throw. And the boss said about the goalie. I said, yeah, I told you about the goalie. I like him, and he played actually all right in that game as well. So yeah, the boss obviously is aware of it, that I like him and know it and stuff. And then obviously the year after, he became the number 1 at Rome. Szczesny go to Juve. So I keep watching every game. If I like the goalie, I always watch it. Not every week, but if I really like the goalie, I would pretty much watch every game. And then there is a goalkeepers who I think are all right, so I watch them every 2 months, 1 game, and I try to pick the good game, where I think, he's getting really tested. And then, you have a list and stuff with number 1, number 2, and number 3 goalies, and young goalies below 21 who I then like. In January, obviously the boss, we had Karius and Simon, and the boss want to change really, probably. So we looked at it again. So we got Stefano came actually to Melwood. So we speak about it. That was in January. And obviously, I told him about, that I like him, and obviously that thought maybe 1 or 2 things we can improve and stuff like that. So end of the season, obviously the final happened. But we go in the preseason, with the same goalies. Obviously, Coutinho money was then. We wanted to sign, if I'm correct.
Fekir?
Yeah. But that meant that if they must have made a decision they want to go for Fekir, and if they would have got Fekir, then there was no money to get Ali. So that's for sure the case, because then Van Dijk had half the money and Fekir got the other half of the money, and there was no money to get a goalie. So we went in the pre-season, and the first was Chester away. And I basically passed the ball straight to Karius. He tried to scoop it up. It goes through his hands, through his legs, in the goal, in the warm-up.
It was filmed, wasn't it? When it went all over social media.
I remember it, yeah.
So he got pretty much rinsed by the social media, and that probably could have affected him, I guess. And the next game we play Tranmere, he got a shot straight at him, he let come off him, and they scored. And I think that was then the moment where one Fekir failed the medical because of the knee, and then obviously the boss with the owners decide, okay, we need to get a new goalie because we cannot carry on like this. So I said then to the boss, I said, then you have to be really quick. I said, because if Courtois gets sold to Madrid, for sure Chelsea want to sign Ali. Because I had made a list, and I said, if we're gonna spend money, and I sent that in the end of the season to the boss, if he's gonna spend the money, I said the only one I would spend the money on is Ali. I said, because people talk about Oblak. I think he's one, he cannot play with the feet. Two, he cannot play with the space, because Atletico only plays on their own half. He cannot, and he's really good on the line, but we need more than just one who's standing on the line. And he is also 186, so that could also be a risk in the Premier League. So I said, that's the only one I would play the money for. Then obviously the club make a video, the recruitment guys make a video. Obviously they will have a look at it. Michael Edwards was there probably, so he looked at it, and the boss and the coaches look at it, and then obviously
rest is history.
That's how it went, and then obviously the owners need to give the go-ahead for it, and that's how it works. So
and then the rest happened, including that late save against Napoli, which then led to a Champions League triumph, arguably. No Club World Cup, possibly no Premier League title. After without it, it's been a game changer, right?
Oh, big time. Without him,
see the best goalkeeper you've ever worked with?
Yeah, that's clear. No.
Yeah, no, just asking.
And
for the
to
record.
be honest, Keller is crazy good too.
Yeah.
If you see them in training, that level, it's like a dream to work with. But.
And you got the other Brazilian younger kid.
Yeah, Marcelo.
I struggled with the surname.
Marcelo.
It's a league.
I mean, he is good in the gameplay, but he needs to be more consistent. He was out in St. Patrick's, didn't do too well. The problem is a little bit the kicking that didn't improve enough. He's good in the short play, but he find it difficult to find the half space. And scoff sometimes in the left foot, and that's still not improved well enough. But I think still he can make a good career. But I think he has 1 year left, so he probably will end up somewhere else.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I think he will, by playing, get to a good level as well.
And when you look back on all your time at Liverpool, what are you most proud about in terms of what was achieved?
15 years.
Yeah, I've actually more enjoyment to have the goalies than win the prizes, if that makes sense. To get Keller from under 16 in to make it to the first team, and to an extent Wardy did the same. And I thought Wardy could have played more. The 2 games he actually played for the first team, he did well.
Who's that, John?
Danny Ward.
Danny,
So I that was always the dream, and obviously the goalie coach in the academy helped as well with the work, and I took them probably when they thought they were ready. Grabara was fun as well. He's a good goalie.
Another Polish good goalie. I mean, there's plenty of them.
Yeah, Grabara obviously we sold, but he was a really good goalie. But he never wanted to be number 2. He always was clear to me, I want to be number 1. So and when I had them both as a competition,
it's tough. Yeah,
I had to tell Keller at the first side. I said, if I have to play Stoke tomorrow, Cruyff, then I will go with Grabara because he's physical ready. I said, but I also think you can overtake him because your speed and your reactions and your movement is so good. But at this moment, physical, you're not ready. And inside the year, obviously, it changed. The year after, Keller go there, we sent Grabara on loan, and he could make the steps to where he is now. And now he's going to Wolfsburg, so Liverpool get some money for that still.
Fantastic.
So, but he was a really good mentality, but also really strong in his. He said one time, "I cannot see the difference between Ali and me in training."
That's confidence.
Yeah, so I like a bit. He has that, but also if he made a mistake, it would not face him. So but it's people say you won everything. The players won everything. We were part to help, but the players on the field, they make in the end us winning something. No.
Yeah, of course.
And everyone around, the coaches, the supporters, they have the same part in helping with supporting.
I think that's a great point to make because without your influence, we, along with Jurgen and what we've done for the goalkeeper, we'd never got where we were. Flat and straight in areas. So you're very widely fond.
Yeah.
You're fondly thought of from Liverpool families. And the Tranmere family still. We can't forget Tranmere. Tranmere was still big. Tranmere fans, obviously.
This was crazy, I go running this morning with my middle daughter, and obviously need to get fit. So I'm running in Morton.
You've done well to run on that knee after all the years. You've been hobbling with it.
5K I managed. It's not perfect.
That's very good. Yeah.
5K, but it's not smooth if I run. But I keep the motor going. So this fan goes past me, blow the whistle, blow his horn, and he stops like 50 meters further down. But obviously it took another 5 minutes before I got there. So he comes out the van and he come over to me and said, "Hey John, I'm a big Liverpool supporter. I'm behind the goal always, and I want to just thank you for the great job you did. I mean, I'm a massive Tranmere fan." And he started talking like 4 or 5 minutes. Give me a breather, by the way. But that was really cool.
Nice.
It was really cool, that's
the appreciation in it.
That is actually more important to me than winning all the trophies. That I do my passion and helping creating goalkeepers. That is what
I mean, judging by the sentiment on social media when you announced not just your your retirement from Liverpool, so to speak, but then moving to Saudi, it's been completely positive. I have been looking, I've been scrolling down to look for someone to pick a fight with you about your next destination. There wasn't anybody. And I think that's down to you as a personality and how much people value you.
Absolutely.
So fair play.
But you've got to wait now till he's finished on the quiz.
Oh, sorry, that's true, John. It can all fall away if you
this
F
can
up
always,
this quiz.
you can all fall off a cliff now.
I'm not prepared for any quiz,
We always do it.
Good luck with that. So
We always do an
famous
Aldo
quiz.
quiz. Famous Aldo podcast quiz.
Shit.
And it's 6 questions, John. Do you know why it's 6 questions?
Yeah.
Do you know why it's
6 trophies.
6 big ones.
Yeah.
6 big year ones, you know what I mean?
That's the only one in England.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we are top of the league from trophies, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
From everyone in England, no?
Well,
that was.
Man United fans won't have it, but they haven't got it.
But that's how I actually. When you're then in Liverpool, that's how you do look. You want.
That's what you're based on.
Yeah, you want to add one more on that. You want to add one on that, and you want to be putting the gap bigger.
That's it.
And hope that all the trophies get taken away from the others who.
I mean, as
who
long as
bought them.
United has Ten Hag in charge, we should be all right from that perspective.
Oh, that all got a Southgate.
They can have the next. Right, come on,
Right, John.
Quiz.
James, I'm going to give you the quiz.
No.
6 questions, mate. 5 out of 6 is the best.
That's
for
the
that.
record, yeah.
That was
There's no
Lucas,
chance
wasn't
for me.
Is that Lucas?
Lucas, I think.
Think so.
Lucas was very good. To be
Yeah,
fair.
right. Number 1,
Go on,
John.
mate.
Which Liverpool goalkeeper has kept the most clean sheets in the club's history?
Reina.
Who?
Reina.
Ray Clements.
All right, John. That was a fucking sitter. It's gone right through your fucking legs.
In the Premier League.
Karius.
In total,
Oh.
across the board.
It's gonna carry.
In the Premier League, it's Reina, no?
Yeah, in the Premier League, yeah, that won the question.
I didn't listen
Okay, come on.
I didn't listen to the question.
Okay, half a star question again.
Half a point. James, be more specific. I keep saying
The
it.
most clean sheets in the club's history. That is quite specific.
It is pretty
It's very
specific.
God
to be
rest
fair.
his soul. What a great man he was. Great
Have-
man.
Right,
half a
number
point.
2. Number
Okay.
2. From which
I go for 0 then.
from which Irish club did Liverpool sign Quiveen Kelleher?
Cork. Tranmere United or Tranmere?
I'll give you that. Ringman,
Yeah,
Ringman.
Rangers.
Yeah.
Just about.
Cork
got it.
base.
Just about. I mean,
Just about, yeah.
Wow, that was
That's
close.
1 point.
Okay, 1.5 so far.
When Alisson scored that famous header against West Brom in 2021,
Yeah,
who provided the assist?
the one who took the corner.
Correct?
And you.
Might need a bit more than that.
And John did, because John told him to get up there, didn't you?
You get half the assist. You've got the other
true,
half
yeah.
of the assist.
Oh,
Who
fuck.
whipped it in?
Oh, come on, John.
It's an
Right.
easy.
He's famous for taking corners.
Yeah,
It wasn't
me.
Robbo.
Quickly.
Milner.
Quickly. Corners quickly, John.
Yeah.
Wing.
He likes a
Trent.
Right, what's it?
Yes, Trent.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
We'll give you that one.
Didn't have to
2.5
have
out
the
of 3.
Jesus, we're
Right,
being
number
charitable
4.
today.
Alisson is still the 3rd most expensive signing Liverpool have ever made. Who's just behind him in 4th place?
Oh, 4th place.
Quite tough on that, but he's...
Last transfer period.
Yeah. He's played.
So you got Nunes,
It's-
you got Virgil,
So Sober's
you got
line?
Alisson,
Yeah.
and Szoboszlai.
Yeah,
Correct.
Szoboszlai.
Okay, well.
Right. This one's tricky. Who played more games for Liverpool, Brad Jones or Adrian?
Oh, that's fucking
It's very close.
50-50.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
nearly
actually,
50-50. So
One had 27, one had 26.
yeah.
So it's just 50. You got to toss
Yeah.
up a coin. Best out of 3.
Brad Jones.
Correct.
Yes. He's been there longer. He was
Yeah.
closer to the number.
4.5.
Right.
Yeah.
If you
And
get
this
this
is-
one right, you're actually very
You
charitable.
got,
top of the
hitting the
tree.
top of the leaderboard if you get this. So, right. After Ray Clements, Bruce Grobbelaar and Eliza Scott, who is 4th in the club's all-time appearance list of goalkeepers? That's all-time appearances in all competitions. So you got Ray Clements, Grobbelaar, Eliza Scott, and who's 4th?
No, the flying pig, no?
So Lawrence?
Yeah.
No.
Pepe Reina?
Yeah. I thought it was between them two.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
By 4.5.
4.5
Well
is
done.
respectable.
Very good, mate.
I would have gone for nil, because I'm
Very
bad in
good,
quizzes.
Anyway, thank everyone for listening. You haven't listened yet, but when you listen, on behalf of me, Peter, Hotel Anfield, and all the sponsors, let's not forget, James, John, Star, great to see you.
Wanted to see you again.
Great to see you, mate.
John, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck
Yes.
in Saudi.
See you. Thanks a lot.
We're coming over to see you anyway. We're going to Bahrain now.
Yeah.
We will.
We have
100%.
We'll be there doing podcasts.
We can have a pint there.
Yeah,
But
you can
have.
in Bahrain.
Yeah.
That's why we go to Bahrain and not to Saudi. All the best.
Yeah, cheers, everyone.
Lovely.